time I remember it. Hi, Polly.
Hello, hello.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to the what is it? Tyler without coffee.
Where's the coffee?
I know, but here's the thing. I just felt like shutting down the dining room, and the reason for that is obviously for the masks, and then inviting everybody to have coffee with me in a group setting. Just didn't feel right. So I figured, you know what? We'll still do the update meeting, and I'll apologize that we're not having coffee. And I look forward to having coffee with you all in the very, very near future. But yes, this will be the coffee with, or I was going to say coffee without Tyler, but that wouldn't work either.
That doesn't work either.
That doesn't work either. So we'll do the Tyler without coffee. So yes. Well, first and foremost, happy holidays to everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed it, was able to at least see and maybe call their family and friends. And
I walked on the beach at Sanibel Island.
wow,
Yeah.
there you go.
I know you did.
There you go. All right. And so I was out last week, and I'm back this week, obviously. So I was able to spend a little time with my family and friends immediately, and it's fantastic. So looking forward to the new year. Obviously not the way we anticipated to start out the new year, but as I'm sure you've seen, and obviously it was the concern prior to leaving for the holidays and after Thanksgiving also was kind of the spike. And I think that the biggest concern and why we've kind of taken some preemptive steps here is because of that transmission rate that we're seeing from the Omicron, even with those that are fully vaccinated, have the booster, which I think, you know, Teresa gathered a list and we're over 80% of residents and probably north of that by now, fully vaccinated with the booster. Still just not sure what that potential is. So we're going to take the safe approach, the proactive approach to keep everybody as safe as possible, knowing that many traveled, like myself, over Christmas. Still, this week, we have a number of residents that are still out after the new year, and that's why we're taking another 2 weeks after the new year, tentatively opening the dining room back up on the 17th of the new year. And so I wish we didn't have to do the new year like this, but obviously we'll be going back to the delivery service. No charge for that. Obviously, this is something that the community implemented. So I've talked with Majarka and Mary, but again, the dining room was closed starting yesterday, and we also, you know, obviously thank you for wearing your masks around the community. Again, this is another protection that obviously reduces that transmission rate, and then also we aren't shutting down visitation at this point yet. But we are wanting you to limit visitors. So we ask that, you know, no more than 2 individuals, but obviously if you have 3 or 4, just be mindful of that. More so, I'm not asking Lila or Famada to turn anybody away at this point, but we do ask that your visitors do come in with masks, and if obviously they are symptomatic or COVID positive, that they not come to the community. And then, of course, for you yourselves, if you are feeling ill or symptomatic, please let us know. Report that. One thing we have been hearing quite a bit, and I know was talked about last week as well, is just the exposure. I think, I don't want to ask, but I'm sure each of us knows somebody pretty close to us that may have COVID or be exposed, have a close exposure. So I hope that's not the case for you and your loved ones, but with the transmission rate of north of 50% in Milwaukee County right now, it's definitely impacted our staff. And our vaccination rate for our staff is 98%. You know, and so that's a very strong rate. But even those that are vaccinated, we're holding out because of symptoms and/or a positive COVID-19. And so that's the reason why the memo came out yesterday. And so again, my hope is that, again, not my hope, but what my hope is that we see, if we're going to see a spike, we see it here in the next 2 weeks, and we're back down to basically normal feeling good about going back to normal. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Are you still testing staff and people in the health?
Yep. So unfortunately, we did have 2 residents in assisted living test positive. They are asymptomatic. They're both doing very well. That was found out this morning, actually. Really early this morning. I got a text from my administrator at 7 a.m. And that was through our whole house testing. So we've tested all the health center, all the CBRF, all the assisted living residents. There's been 2 positives out of that entire group. And so we'll continue to test throughout this week. And we started back our testing process for our staff as well as our residents. But CDC has been coming out with new guidelines. Again, they're coming out faster than we can keep up at this point. But we have over 10% of our employee population out of the building right now based on some symptoms and positive tests too. So again, we're not able to deliver on the services that we would expect. And so we're making sure we can fundamentally take care of the services that you expect, meaning food, maintenance, housekeeping, all those things that are so important to why you moved in. But ultimately, we also have residents that underneath the regulatory environment need care 24 hours a day, and that's where we really need to take care of and focus our resources. So we too will get through this, no doubt about it, and apologize just for the momentary, hopefully momentary, I guess nuisance, annoyance, whatever you want to call it, change that we have to start off with this new year. Right now, there's nobody in independent living that has COVID-19. I should say that as of 2 o'clock today, December 28th. But we have had some residents that have said, I've had exposure. I've had a nephew, a grandson, a niece, whatever, that I spent some time with over the holidays. Again, knowing that you're vaccinated and boosted, higher probability that it hasn't been transmitted. Fortunately, no residents at this time also have reported any symptoms. So just continue to really monitor that, but felt prudent to keep the safety at the priority. So. Any questions on that? So obviously that does unfortunately mean that you'll be seeing New Year's Eve will be canceled, the party. Laura and I just chatted about that. Do look for, I'll be sending out another memo on Thursday. We will still help you ring in the new year. So we'll be going most likely door to door to provide some New Year's celebrations for you. But I'll leave a little surprise, but it won't be the full group. Also, the roving bar for early next week will also be canceled. Other larger group activities, like for instance David Tolan's music appreciation, I don't see necessarily an issue with that, knowing that masks will remain on during that time. There's no reason for masks really to come down. And as well, again, that's today. That's still moving forward. So again, activities, visitors, things of that nature, we're not in full shutdown mode. But really anything with food and beverage related, either will be modified or canceled. And again, that's just primarily for your safety. Again, if you decide to have neighbors in your apartment and dine or drink and things of that nature, I'm going to caution you about that, but I can't stop you. And you're independent, and again, I'm not going to encourage that, but at the same time, you are independent, and just please proceed with caution. Again, you're fortunate to be in a community where you know that your neighbors are usually vaccinated and boosted, as opposed to going out to Sendix where, who knows, and other publics. But just continue to use caution. Just want to remain safe and get through this, hopefully, blip on the radar. So do keep looking for updates. Again, we're working through this to the best that we can and for as safe as we can. So that's the COVID update. So we're going to be going back to weekly updates, things of that nature. At this point, everybody's probably been exposed at some point in the game or another. And again, we do have protocols in place, but again, I also know that we all have lives to live, and don't want that to stop either. So, any questions? All right.
I think you've done a good job so far keeping us all safe, so.
Well, that's my goal. And again, thank you to you all as well for the quick changes and understanding. And again, just trying to minimize the confusion as well, because trust me, I'm confused at points in time. So really trying to process everything and make the best decisions based on what I know, based on what direction we're receiving from the county, from our medical director. Again, Dr. Johnstone was just in this morning chatting with myself and Lindsay. So again, it's not just all from my beautiful mind, is what I like to call it, because it does take a village, a team, a community. So yeah. What else? What other questions? What other things are happening? I know I was out last week. It seemed like obviously came back. Everybody's still here.
What stage are we with the gates?
So the gates. So great question. So you saw the gate. It's lit up out there.
Oh, yes.
Eric and I are meeting tomorrow. Most likely after the first of the year, the gate will go down. And we just need to properly communicate that to staff and visitors. I also have to double check and make sure the camera's installed, because that was a call that I received last week. So the gate's installed, the camera should be installed. The reason the gate's not down right now is because wanting to work through it with staff and you as residents and visitors. Essentially, the gate is a deterrent, so you have to stop at the gate. There is no code to get into the gate. There's no button to get into the gate. Basically, it's what we call a proximity gate. And so you can, once you go up, you stop. There's a camera that points directly into the vehicle to capture who's in there, as well as the license plate, as well as the proximity as the vehicle goes across. This is the first step of deterrent. We can lock it down where we would have to give you guys codes and maybe let in from the front desk, so on and so forth. But this hopefully will deter criminals from wanting to break in and steal. The reason why we went with the gate and the reason why we went with that type of gate is every theft has been in a vehicle. They've come in, they haven't come in from the streets or anything like that on the sidewalks. They've always been in a vehicle. And ultimately, it's our first step that we can add on to. We also do know that right now, crime, theft of cars does go down in the winter. It's not as easy, for the criminals. It's not easy. It's not going to get done. But it is something that, we want obviously going forward. So more information will follow.
One more. This is really a silly question, but having seen it up so green, does it go red when it goes down?
It is red when it stays down. Yes.
Okay, I just wondered. I haven't seen it down.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just thought.
I
I
never
thought about it
that.
after I looked at it. Yeah.
So that's the other piece.
Yeah.
It's a visual deterrent.
Yeah.
So it'll be red, middle of the night, whatever it will, and then when it goes up, it goes green.
I wondered after seeing the green.
Yep.
Thank you.
So yeah. What
Well, this
else?
is a minor point,
Mhm.
but the newspapers keep disappearing from the club room again.
Uh-oh. The library or the club room?
I'm sorry, the library.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
the
was
library,
looking for
yeah,
something
yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday the whole first section went missing. Today half of the sports section wasn't there. And I
Is it
understand-
from the Journal Sentinel or?
Yeah,
what?
well, that's the one I look at. I don't know about the others. But it was also entertaining to me that a few weeks ago, they had a sign that said, "Do not remove the papers," and somebody took the sign.
Sure, but do not remove the sign or the papers. So, let's make that announcement. Again, the papers in the library are for the community. They are supposed to remain in the library for the community, and they're not to leave the library. If you do want your own paper, we can help coordinate that and make sure it's delivered to you at your apartment at the appropriate time. But again, the papers that are in the library are to remain in the library. If for some reason you do take it out of the library for any reason, please return it immediately upon reviewing it, but the assumption and the recommendation is to not remove those papers so that all of these Castle Place neighbors and friends can read the papers. So, thank you. Of course.
I don't know what you can do about it short of
Well,
standing there. But
yeah, it's kind of
I'll stand
like,
there with the camera.
there you go.
Hey, there you go.
There you go. Say you are on candid camera, right?
Mhm.
But no, again, that wonderful piece of being a community. Maybe we'll just have Teresa sit in the library all day. Oh, there she, I didn't even see you come in.
I'll be the savior.
Yeah. But no. What else?
I wondered if, in your planning for your update of the fitness center, if we could have, lane cords in the pool installed.
Lane cords. So the
Like
ones that
there's
float on top,
Yeah, they float, well, they hook on each end.
Right, and then
float
they
on top, so.
kind of like a lap pool. Then it's like at the whack or the Y.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's always used for individuals, either exercising in one spot or
Okay.
walking back and forth or
Sure.
swimming.
I can definitely chat with Willie about that. I mean, that's something we could do sooner rather than later if that's something that you felt strongly about and wanted to have. Again, it's
I mean, there's only room for 3 people to swim anyhow.
Yep.
If you're swimming lapped in the pool. But some people go around the whole edge, and it's inconvenient for those that want to swim laps, so.
I see what you
And
mean.
if-
So you have some people that are doing their laps this way and some people that are doing laps.
Mhm.
Gotcha. And the consensus would be everybody just does their laps this way so that
Mhm.
everybody can use the pool, or maybe a section is there for the aqua aerobics so that one person.
Well, they would come down when you're doing aqua aerobics, because you use the whole pool then.
Sure.
I mean, for those classes and that.
Yeah.
That's why it has to be removable, so
Gotcha.
when it's
Sure.
free swim, then you could put them up again.
Okay.
Or
Well-
playing basketball, I mean,
Yeah.
people do that that's part of it, that's part of the activity,
What else?
it should be.
So they're basically, going back to the COVID thing, basically they're sort of no activities really, because it would mean getting in a group.
Yeah, I mean, again, the group activities like this, I'm not overly concerned about. It's when we have food and beverage with the group activities.
Oh, because then you have to take.
Because you have to take down your mask. So, again, as long as everybody's adhering to the mask mandate, again, you're obviously potentially more at risk when you go out to a restaurant or you go out to Sendex, things of that nature. And again, if you aren't wearing a mask or you are wearing a mask, but somebody else isn't wearing a mask, again, I know all of you have been vaccinated. I know all the residents have been boosted. That's why I'm still comfortable enough saying we can still meet in groups. Let's just go ahead and limit for a period of time. Again, don't get me wrong. I don't think this Omicron variant or the next variant is going to be gone by the 17th of January at all. Why we're doing this as a community is because of the exposure that probably all of us have potentially had over the course of the holidays with different family members and different things as we continue to live our lives. But I want to really take precaution and see where we're at in, really a week, 2 weeks, and make sure it's worked itself out of the systems to a degree, getting a better handle on it. Also, I want to see Milwaukee's positivity rate come back down. North of 15% is a lot. It's higher than really we were at previously. It's just, the symptoms, seem less. The transmission rate seems higher. So, again, that's why the CDC is coming out with the different variations of recommendations for return to work and things to do. But, it's just something we still need to So to your question, Polly, we will still have the group activities that, you know, the playwriting and different things like that, the short story readings and whatever else, the councils and state of the castles, things of that nature. The only caveat is anything food related, drink related, are going to be postponed for the next really 3 weeks, if you include this week. So. And yes, as a nice reminder, it is winter. We are seeing that. We are under a winter weather advisory. So if you are walking outside, please just be very, very careful. You know, we do have transportation. Our maintenance team will be out. We have a rotating team 7 days a week, morning through night. We have a brand new, hopefully, machine that our team bought this winter for both the landscaping in the summer as well as the winter, but they're much more efficient now with the spreader, the salter, the plower. So, but more than anything, please just be careful out there if you are taking a few steps outside. I encourage you to get the fresh air when you're able, but there's going to be some slick spots. Already, my wife was driving to Madison and she said the roads are terrible. So, you know.
It's supposed to be worse west of
That's what I saw. I'm out in Waukesha, as many of you know, and so the winter weather advisory basically kind of gets worse after Waukesha. So, but yeah.
Welcome back, Polly.
Yeah.
To all the snow.
Do we want to hear about your nice trip, or
will we all be too jealous?
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you for joining the Tyler without coffee update. No, I always say coffee with Tyler, so it can't be coffee without Tyler. So the Tyler, the coffee. Oh my, I can't even say it.
Coffee less.
Coffeeless Tyler update.
oh, there
you go.
Yeah.
All right. So, if there's any questions, you know where to find me. Feel free. And have a wonderful New Year.
Thank you. You too.
And I have to do the joke, right? I'll see you next year. See, I know.
We're not going to see you before then?
Oh, I'll be around. I'm just
Okay.
saying we'll see you here next year.
Okay.
But no, I'll be around all week. So yes, you'll definitely be seeing me around.
Is the treasure chest going to be closed or open?
It'll be open.
Open.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll remain open.
Okay.
Oh, you mean, never mind. Because I'm one of the people that's supposed to be working, so I should probably know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll probably be closed though Friday, right? Anyhow?
Well,
Oh, no, that's
I would
New
guess.
Year's Eve though. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't
It
really
would
know.
it probably would be open.
I know they closed Christmas Eve,
Oh, they did?
yeah. Because we didn't think anybody would be here.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially employees, I think, were
Mm-hmm.
going to be gone. And they're usually the bigger shoppers, right?
But I don't really know.
All right. Well, enjoy.
Thank you.
Of course. Take care.